Hi, 8th grade. Welcome to lesson 7-4, Find Distance in the Coordinate Plane. This is your last lesson of topic 7, which is your last lesson of the year, which is your last lesson with me forever. All right, let's get to it. By the end of the lesson, I want you to say, I can use the Pythagorean theorem to find the distance between 2 points in the coordinate plane. Let's explore it. Thomas and Jim were outside the haunted castle ride and want to get to the clown tent in time for the next show. How can you represent the starred locations on a coordinate plane? So the starred locations, one is here, and one is here. So the first one is at 1, 3, and the second one is at 4, 1. Jim says that the marked yellow paths show the shortest path to the tent. Write an expression to represent this and find the distance Jim walks from the haunted mansion to the clown tent. So he's going along the yellow. He's going to walk 3 to the right and then 2 down. So he's going to walk a total of 5 centimeters, which each centimeter is 500 feet. So we multiply that by 500, gives us 2,500 feet. Why is the distance between two non-horizontal and non-vertical points always greater than the horizontal or vertical distance? Because then it's the hypotenuse. So what they're trying to show you is that instead of going to the right and down, we could make a right triangle that goes straight diagonal. So that's 3 and 2. We could do our 3 squared plus 2 squared equals c squared. 9 plus 4 equals c squared. 9 plus 4 is 13 equals c squared. We take the square root. Get out my calculator. 13 is 3.6. So instead of walking 5 centimeters, he could have walked 3.6 centimeters if he just cut straight through. Example number 1. Thomas says that walking along a straight path from the haunted mansion to the clown tent is a shorter path. How can you use the Pythagorean theorem to determine whether he is correct? So this is what I was just talking about. Instead of walking 3 over and 2 down, he could have just walked straight across. And we just found out that this is 3.6. But they show you here using the Pythagorean theorem. Then they wanted to convert that into the actual distance. So using the scale factor that 1 centimeter equals 500 feet, we know that he's going 3.6 centimeters, cross multiply, and we get that he is going 1,805 feet, which is shorter than the 2,500 feet Jim walks. What is the distance between points A and B? So you draw a line between A and B, but let's make it a right triangle. So it's 2 over and 2 down. So we're going to use 2 squared plus 2 squared equals c squared. 4 plus 4 equals c squared. So 8 equals c squared. Last step, take the square root. And c equals 2.8. Why do you need the Pythagorean theorem to find the distance between points A and B? Because the distance between points A and B is a diagonal. So you need which is the hypotenuse. Example number 2. Find the perimeter of a figure on a coordinate plane. Use the absolute value to find the lengths of side A and side B. So between A and B, so what do they tell us? The points -2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But also if you take the x values, the absolute values, and add them, you get 5. Up and down, we get 1, 2, 3. Absolute values is 3. And then we do 5 squared plus 3 squared. You guys know the Pythagorean theorem. They get C equals 5.83. They want to find the perimeter. So perimeter is adding them all up. So if this one was 5 and this one was 3, this one we just found was 5.83. Adding them all together, the perimeter is 13.83 units. So let's try it. Find the perimeter of ABC with the vertices 2, 5, 5, -1, and 2, -1. The best thing to do here is sketch it. So 2, 5 is going to be somewhere around here. 2, 5. Then 5, -1 is going to be somewhere here. And then last but not least, 2, -1 is going to be right here. So we connect to make our right triangle. So straight up and down, we're going from -1 to 5. -1 to 5 is equal to 6. Then left and right, we're going from 2 to 5. So between 2 and 5, there's 3. Then we do the Pythagorean theorem. 3 squared, plus 6 squared equals C squared. 3 squared is 9, 6 squared is 36. 9 plus 36 is 45. Then we take the square root. Remember that button in your calculator. So C equals 6.7. Then perimeter, we add them all up. 6 plus 3 plus 6.7 equals 15.7. All right, example number 3. Use the Pythagorean theorem to solve problems in the coordinate plane. Lee draws one side of an equilateral triangle with vertices -1, 1 and 3, 1 on the coordinate plane. The third vertex is in the first quadrant. What are the coordinates of the third vertex of Lee's triangle? So first, we gotta figure out that the length of the side drawn is 4. Then we need to use the Pythagorean theorem to find the height of Lee's triangle. Well, they tell us that it's an equilateral triangle. So all the sides have to be equal to 4. But that means that the height of the triangle is cut off. Like this should be the triangle 4, 4, 4. So they cut it down the middle, which is 2, to make a right triangle. So we have 2 squared and 4 squared. So square root, and A equals 3.5. So it's got to be in the middle and 3.5 up. So in the middle is here, and we go up 1, 2, 3.5. So that's where the point must be, 1, 4.5. What are the coordinates to the nearest tenth of the third vertex in an isosceles triangle? Isosceles means two sides are the same. It has one side length of 2 and one side length of 5, with vertices at 1, 0 and 1, 2. So we can plot it. 1, 0 is here. 1, 2 is here. So that's 1, 0. Okay, and we draw a straight line. That's the side that's 2. And the two side lengths of 5 are going to end up somewhere over here. This is going to be 5, and this is going to be 5. So we need to drop a height because neither of those are right triangles. So we drop the height there. So this triangle is going to be, let me draw it over here. Here's our right triangle. We cut the 2.5, so that's 1. And we know this has to be 5. So now we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem to find the missing side. This could be b. So 1 squared plus b squared equals 5 squared. 1 squared is 1. Plus b squared equals 25. Subtract 1 from both sides. This cancels out. B squared equals 24. And we take the square root. So get out the calculator. 24, the square root of that is 4.9. Thing we forgot to read is that the third vertex is in the first quadrant. So instead of it going out that way to the left, it actually goes out to the right. So same thing, but here. So that means that our third vertex is going to be at the point, well, we have to do 4.9 plus 1, so 5.9, comma 1. All right, key concept. You can use the Pythagorean theorem to find the distance between any 2 points, P and Q, on the coordinate plane. All you do is draw a right triangle. All right, 8th grade, let's say it for the last time. I can use the Pythagorean theorem to find the distance between 2 points in the coordinate plane. Have a great day.